Hey guys, great first day of practice. Excited to get out there. Let me start by congratulating Isaac Bruce, pure Tiger legend every which way. Obviously, a man that's done it right on and off the field throughout his career. Just so proud of him, and obviously getting his gold jacket in Canton. So congratulations to Isaac. We wish you best. Enjoy your weekend. You well deserved it, long well deserved, and you'll always be a Tiger. That being said, also will say this: you guys don't have to call me coach. You guys can call me Ryan. I know some of you guys are laughing at our ACL. That's good. With all that being said, good first day of practice. Was proud of the efforts of the guys. Nice 74-degree day out there. Wish it was a little bit warmer, but the guys pushed, prodded. Biggest thing I wanted to see was the fundamentals carry over. I knew we were going to make mistakes, but if we're going to make them, we better go full speed. Obviously, a lot of new faces out there. Hold on one second, guys. They're messing with this. Okay. A lot of new faces out there, but it was good to get out there and compete. We're excited. Offense, defense, special teams. Good to get out there. Just day one of the books, a helmet practice, but look forward to improvements moving into tomorrow.
We'll start off with Terry Davis.
What's up, Coach? How you doing?
Good, Terry. How you doing?
My life is good. I know you integrating a lot of guys into your system and all that. What do you expect to be this time next week after your first week of full practice?
Yeah, Terry, I think, we'd like to have our base installs in of our offense, defense, and special teams, and then, start to get a better understanding of our personnel. You get an idea, right, from those guys that are returning players, but with a lot of new faces, guys in different spots, Terry, we just hope to have a better understanding of what we have. It doesn't mean we're going to sit there and name stars here or there, but get out there and see, okay. And then kind of gives you a feel for your identity, right? We don't know exactly what we're going to be on offense until we have an understanding of who our quarterback is, what all we can do, right? Are we going to be a 12 personnel team? If we get another tight end to step up besides Sean Dykes, then, maybe that will change some of the dynamics. But really, like I said, this week, for the first full week, 5 days of practice, however you want to call it, 6 days of practice, we want to get our base installs in. I want the guys playing fast, hungry, and compete out there, and working to improve every single day.
Isaac and then Evan.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Isaac, how are you?
I'm good, man. Obviously, you expect Calvin Austin and Javon Ivory to be atop the depth chart of the wide receiver group, but talk about some of the other guys that you expect to kind of step up and look at those third and fourth spots in the wide receiver room.
Yeah, I know you're exactly right. Right? Who are those other guys? I don't think if we, statistically, I'm not sure how many other guys we had. Right? I mean, you think about the signing class we had. With Kai Matthew, Kobe Webster, Markel Jones, you'd like some of those redshirt freshmen to be able to step up, and not many of them saw much time last year. Obviously, some injuries there. So, from that group, you'd like to see some of those guys. The name you guys mentioned before that I know is now known as Eddie Lewis, the transfer wide receiver, like him to compete in there. But we got a big mix of things. In fact, Coach Johns, met with the offensive guys and said, "Hey, look, we're going to we got a lot of talented wide receivers, but who's going to step up?" And I mentioned this the other day. I look forward to seeing the cream rise to the top and seeing some guys step up. There'll be new faces, right? I mean, we also talked about in the backfield. We can't go into a season with 9 running backs. We got to settle on 2 or 3 and figure it out. And I think that's the same with the wide receiver position. They know they compete. Look, I don't guarantee anybody a starting job, but I think without a doubt, obviously Calvin's the guy in the room. Javon has some experience, but we need some of those other guys to step up, right? The Jeremy Tates of the world, a lot of other guys that we're expecting big things from this training camp.
Evan.
Hey, Ryan, you mentioned Eddie Lewis, and I know I think we saw Greg Emerson out there too. So just kind of curious with those two guys, just kind of, what can you say about them, and just kind of what are you expecting from them as new faces as you guys are all starting this practice journey together? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, look, Eddie's a guy that we knew started as a freshman at Rutgers and was a productive player, and obviously things didn't work out for him there. And he's a guy we kind of kept an eye on the junior college ranks. What he is he's a really good, clean route runner. He'll be the first to admit he may not be the fastest of the fast. He's not Calvin Austin speed, and he's not as big as Jeremy Tate, right? But he's a good sized wide receiver that is really smart, works really hard. So excited to see him add depth to that room. We knew that was something we had to address, and that's part of this roster management, right? And then Greg Emerson's a talent that I consider a local talent. I consider Jackson part of our footprint, outside of Memphis, and glad to add him. He's a guy that's played a lot of football at a high level. And I think anytime you have the opportunity to add depth at the defensive line, it's hard to pass on, right? We've talked this, you guys have all said, Ryan, what's the one thing that separates you maybe from, those SEC teams that are, those top tier SEC teams? I always say, look, we got to get depth in the trenches. And, and I said that the question you guys asked me after the Penn State game, what was the difference? I said, at the O-line, D-line. So Greg's a young man. We're excited to add. Obviously, today was his first day out there, so he's probably swimming, drinking from a fire hose as well, but we're excited to add him.
And then just a quick update from me. I know in the spring we mentioned, obviously, you mentioned that I think Javon and Morris were a bit banged up. Kind of how are they doing, and kind of what's any updates going on, like health-wise with you guys at this point? I know it's early.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Javon, all those guys are full go. Javon Ivory's out there full go. Look good out there, moving around. Just like a lot of those guys, right? It's the continued treatment, but he's good. And then Morris Joseph, who missed time this spring as well, was full go. We're excited about him. Like you guys, I've told you, I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Just got to continue to get him in shape and push him in the right direction. But I think he's got, like I said before, he's got a chance to be one of the best D linemen in our conference. And then, Evan, to answer your question as far as other injuries, nothing else of news or note right now.
Terry?
Hey, Coach, I know Memphis got a history of being walk on you. Got any candidates for a breakout season this year so far? Or have you initiated a scholarship that we don't know about to somebody?
Yeah, I have not. There's a couple guys that I awarded scholarships to in the spring, and a lot of those things I just do really keep private because I think it's up to them. I will share with this two local guys who I think deserve the credit that are on scholarship now are Marcavius Weaver, who's now a scholarship young man who's already graduated, and then John Hassel, right? Two local guys that have worked their tails off. They've already graduated from college. They're on scholarship and well-deserved. But again, I'm not one of those. I don't do a lot of big celebrations. I think it's important to share that with them so they can share it with their families first and foremost, because a lot of times their families are the ones that sacrificed, or they did, right? Took out loans and all that stuff. I do think we'll have one or two others that maybe step up to bat. Again, Terry, a lot of this is that roster management. Right? I sit there and say, okay, if I put this young man now, if there's a deserving one, absolutely. But if I put a guy on scholarship, then I sit there and say, well, if this guy comes back, then where do the chess pieces move? And there'll be some broken hearts that way. So again, just being smart with how we use our numbers.